This meeting is being recorded.
Hello to everyone and welcome to today's session. My name is Carlo Bobilas and I'll be your moderator. Today's session will be presented by Product Manager Dario Cavallaro. But before I hand over the mic, I do have a few housekeeping items to cover about today's session. Today's session will be recorded and made available on demand. We'll make sure to provide those details at the end. Also, we'd love to hear from you during today's presentation. If you are on WebEx and have a question for our speaker, please feel free to send it through the WebEx question and answer panel, where our wonderful panelists are ready to respond. For those tuning into our live stream, we thank you very much for joining in as well. Q&A is limited to those via WebEx. However, we will have a post-event Q&A thread over on the Cisco Learning Network community, where you can post any follow-up questions you might have. So without any further ado, I'd like to kick things off by welcoming our presenter. Dario, over to you.
Thank you very much, Carlo, and hello, everybody. We are very excited to present all the new features that have been introduced with Cisco Telemetry Broker 2.2. The team has done an exceptional work, and so, yeah, without further ado, let's jump in it. And so, for those of you that are not familiar, Cisco Telemetry Broker is the product that was developed a few years ago to respond to a need of managing telemetry in a more clever way and at a faster speed, given the new evolution or the evolution of the networks. Some of the newer telemetry required a better product to handle telemetry transport and telemetry generation in a more clever way, and we call it CTB is the answer to those requirements. And with 2.2 we have introduced a support of managing web proxy logs and converting them into IPFix. One of the main requirements for this use case is the visibility that web proxy logs can provide to security products like Secure Network Analytics. We have obviously a lot of experience with NDR, network detection and response, and CTB being part of the threat detection and response world. We think that the proxy logs are a great source for gaining visibility in those areas of the network where there is no NetFloat capable devices. Cisco Telemetry Broker has also aligned to the overall Cisco Magnetic program, and this brought us to a different user experience and workflows that we will showcase. By the way, this brings me to a nice topic that is at the end of the slides. We will have a click-through demo, and we will see screenshots that we're taking from a lab environment where we run the newest version. We have added a number of additional features and improvements on top of normal. We call them normal, but they are outstanding improvements in terms of performances. We have also enhanced the capability of doing backup and restore of broker nodes. We have added the possibility to generate encrypted traffic analytics telemetry to power Secure Network Analytics and Cisco XDR. And we have also improved support of IPv6 by being able to send IPFix generated from road traffic. So the Flow Generator plugin can support IPv6 destinations. And let's jump straight into the proxy log integration. So as having been part of the Secure Network Analytics world for the last 10 years, this is a common scenario that our customers and our users jump into, where they have a proxy log, a proxy server that is deployed and handles the HTTPS request between clients and the public internet. And this represents a bridge that is hard to get visibility into unless there are specific integrations already existing in other products. And so we have seen requests in the market of being able to translating those logs generated by proxies into IPFix so that it can be integrated with NDR products like Secure Network Analytics. And that generates visibility, obviously, in who was generating the request, so the username, what request was made, so the URL being requested, and a part of the payload is included in the visibility. And obviously it has source and destination and all the wider information that can be extracted through NetFlow. That information provided to Secure Network Analytics obviously gets our Secure Network Analytics customers the possibility to consult the proxy information and the standard NetFlow, and being able to correlating this while doing investigations and running detections on top of that information. So there is a lot of goodness out there on the proxy logs. In order to do that, obviously we have introduced an input type, and we are supporting out of the box McAfee, Zscaler, the Cisco Web Security Appliance, Blue Code, Squid, and ForcePoint. As obviously Cisco WSA is a product, while the others are vendors with their on-prem offering of logging. We have also introduced a JSON example, just in case our customers want to leverage a little bit more this feature, as it is highly flexible. And we have introduced a process so that these parsers can be customized. So from a technical point of view, what is happening is we build an input in CTB that accepts syslog. We configure the proxy logs to send syslog to CTB, and as a destination, we choose a UDP destination that will convert, and that those proxy logs gets converted into IPFix and then provided to the destination. The user experience optimizations were quite significant. We are on a journey Cisco-wide to align products to provide similar experiences, obviously in the context of the functionality that they provide. This improves the overall look and feel of the products and make sure Cisco products get similar type of look and feel across the board, and CTB is not excluded from that. It's actually a really good way of aligning to the wider portfolio, and the team did a great job at aligning the UI framework. So the magnetic is the framework of choice, and with that we have introduced a number of new workflows. As an example, we have introduced the sidebar or the explorer tree that improves the way we see the deployment. So obviously CTB has a manager node and has a number of broker nodes that report into the manager, and then the rules are applied on a per either on a system-wide type basis or on a per broker node type basis. And so this gives you a good view, or gives our customers a good view of how it has been configured and how much data is being processed on a per rule basis. Again, these are screenshots from our labs, and are a great example of how complicated we can be and still have a readable screen. Part of additional updates, the team has introduced functionality to do backup of rules and restore of rules in case of broker node needs to be replaced. This accelerates obviously the time from the incident to time to being backup operative quite drastically. You have also the opportunity to remove the broker node from the manager view so that in case a broker node is decommissioned, obviously it can be decommissioned. The flow generator plugin, so how we call it, which is the input, raw traffic as input and IPFix as output capability. We have enhanced that with the possibility to send IPv6 traffic, or rather to send IPFix to IPv6 destinations. This is a great alignment to the overall USGV6 standard, and we've been compliant to that standard since 1.4.4 version, so we keep staying compliant to that word. The flow generator also now generates telemetry that can power encrypted visibility. For those of you that are familiar with Cisco XDR and Cisco Secure Network Analytics, there are functionalities that require that telemetry in order to gain visibility into encrypted traffic and run detection algorithms and also determine levels of encryption and obviously type of ciphers being used in the traffic. So in first case, in the case of the detections capabilities, how that ETA telemetry powers the EVE detections in Cisco XDR, and in the Cisco Secure Network Analytics, where the crypto audit functionality is powered through that ETA telemetry as well. Two good examples of using the data provided by the flow generation plugin. So overall, the 2.2 version provides better performances. We have made several improvements and upgraded a number of backend code that required improvements, and with experience obviously and customer feedback, we have applied the knowledge to make the product better. Aligning to magnetic means a better user experience overall, not just with the product but across the Cisco portfolio. And with the new capabilities, obviously, and the past capabilities, CTB is becoming more and more the pillar for the telemetry transport architectures that have started being outlined and documented in the industry. Now, this was a quick overview on slides. Obviously, we will provide the slides after the webinar, and with those we will have a number of additional information that will be provided to you. This is the slide that you will see being delivered with a number of links that will point to additional material, like the data store design guide for Secure Network Analytics, or a past webinar that had a real life example of implementation of the telemetry architecture to power different products through CTB. Now this finishes the slides. Now we're going to jump to the actual demo, and bear with me while I stop sharing the slides and jump on the click through demo. So Yes, here we go. So this has been published, obviously, and it's available. Some of you might have seen that on Cisco.com. We have also updated the demo of the telemetry broker, the overall demo. That is just a what's new demo, so we'll cover the newer features. And again, these are screenshots from our lab with lab generated data. But already you can see from the dashboard the new magnetic UI and some tests that were done with AWS integrations and NetFlow integrations. So you have a general health status, obviously, on the left, and some information around how much data the destinations have received. So part of the UI improvements with magnetic, again, there's consistency across the Cisco products, and the feedback we have received is that it makes navigation of the deployment status much easier with the consolidated view of the Explorer or the tree, where we outline which broker node reports to which manager node. We went overboard and have highlighted how complex a deployment can be. So we have a nice overview of different sources and different destinations, and multiple sources sending data to multiple destinations at the same time. In that case, some of you might be familiar with the product, or some of you might not, but if you hover over one of the lines, you will have additional information, obviously, on that. The data flow has been improved, as you can see, and has been changed. And the statistics, obviously, are stored on the manager node. In the web proxy feature, we have a list of supported proxies, as mentioned during the slides. What is important to keep in mind is that the mapping of the logs needs to be either selected from the examples or pre-configured in order to be able to parse the syslog and convert that into IPFix. Vendor and protocols, obviously we support TCP and UDP for syslog. Vendor is a field that is used in the translated NetFlow as well. The use of the outputted IPFix from the proxy logs is obviously really useful for products like Secure Network Analytics, where visibility is required in order to detect possible malicious behavior. I'm not going to read through the list of supported vendors and proxies, but just a refresher on that list. For the flow generator input, we have added a little toggle on the input window, which enables the encrypted traffic or ETA telemetry to be enabled. This is a little toggle in the UI, but a lot of work in the backend to make sure Cisco Secure Network Analytics and Cisco XDR can provide outcomes by leveraging the CTB telemetry. We obviously, with the flow generator plugin or input plugin, we had already in the past features for decrypting VXLAN and other decapsulation features with ETA. We keep on that journey of transforming raw traffic into usable data that Secure Network Analytics and Cisco XDR can use to power XDR and NDR use cases. Sorry, just 1 second. Same were the flow generator plugin. We had a limitation on the supported destinations for the flow generator plugin. Now we support also IPv6 destinations, and this enhances our compatibility with IPv6 overall. Obviously, the product is already GV6 compliant and can have IPv6 IPs assigned to it, to both broker nodes and managers. Keeping going on the new features, the backup and restore functionality. This is a per broker node functionality. The backup of rules produces a download of a JSON file. It needs to be stored, obviously, in a safe location in order for the backups to be restored. The manager refreshes the configuration anyways to the existing broker nodes. This is really in a RMA / broker node dying type of scenario where a quick turnaround in reestablishing broker node functionality type of use case. Broker node dies, a new broker node comes in, needs to have the rules refreshed quickly. Remember, restore of rules button can be used in that case. Going to get through this, and this was the last screenshot. I hope this was of interest for you. A quick what's new session, and now I'm turning to the Q&A panel. I can see a number of questions, but I want to make sure any question asked gets answered. So I'm gonna just check.
Yeah, so if you have a question, please use the question and answer panel and go ahead and type it in. Let's see. One of them was if ETA is enabled on CTV, does SNA also need ETA feature switched on?
So I think that Secure Network Analytics, in the latest versions, have the crypto audit, what we used to call crypto audit app, already included. I'm going from memory. I might need to double check that. But the crypto audit is the part that we power with in SNA through the ETA telemetry. I think the switch. Sorry, just a second. Unfortunately, it is the season of colds, so I apologize. But yeah, so I think the switch referenced is a switch that went away a few versions ago. I might be referencing what we used to call GTA, and that would power ETA functionality from a cloud platform. That went away a few versions ago. If that is wrong, please feel free to reach out and clarify the question, and we'll be happy to answer any more questions. I don't see many other questions asked.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I can read this one out loud because it looks like Ben actually answered it. So Dan asked, what is that mapping field for? And Ben replied, mapping field specifies the parser of the input. We have some built-in mappings. Just for example, users can define their own mapping on a separate UI page based on their proxy log message format and select that mapping there. So thank you for that. All right.
Cool.
All right, Dario, it looks like we've covered all the questions for today. Great overview, all the new features. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
I'd like to say thanks to everybody that contributed to a great version, especially our engineering leaders. We have Purush and Ben here on the call, our TME team for developing great documentation for the new for this new version, especially Eric and Stella. And everybody really that worked towards a great version. Thank you, Carlo, for hosting this webinar.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you to our panelists and the whole team for bringing your knowledge to the Cisco community. Again, if you have a question, I'll keep the Q&A window, but I also included the post-event discussion thread so we can continue the conversation over on the Cisco Learning Network. For even more tutorials, demonstrations, and future webinars, please do visit and bookmark that link. That link is in the chat. And the video from today will be recorded. I believe the live stream link, I'll post that. The unedited one will be on the post-event discussion thread, but then we'll have the edited, cleaned up version, and that typically takes 3 to 5 business days, and we'll get that uploaded on the Cisco Learning Network. Other than that, your feedback is important, and at this time, you'll be directed to a survey, so please do take the time to participate. Once again, we thank everyone for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.